The following podcast is scheduled for one fall with a 5-minute time limit. The date is March 29, 2004. Backstage, Raw's latest acquisition, Tajiri, is with his Raw veterans Sylvain Grenier, Rob Conway, and Garrison Cade. His initiation onto the Monday Night Raw roster is to spray the next person who enters the locker room, and Tajiri is all too excited. As Jonathan Coachman walks in his nice yellow shirt, Tajiri unleashes his poisonous mist all over him, and Tajiri laughs and the other men join him, but not for the same reason. Tajiri is told that Coach is Bischoff's friend, and that Tajiri might have just made an enemy out of him. The man is in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. How is Tajiri going to get out of this one? Tajiri goes to Bischoff's office to find Coach and apologize. But as Coach is complaining to Bischoff about getting mist all over his face, arms, shirt, and teeth, Tajiri can't help but laugh. But Tajiri stops laughing when Coach makes up a story that Tajiri says that he doesn't respect Bischoff. Tajiri tries to set the story straight, but Coach keeps the lies coming, raw, uncooked, and uncensored. Tajiri doesn't respect Raw. Tajiri thinks Bischoff is incompetent. All things that Tajiri allegedly said in the seconds where Coach got sprayed, and Bischoff is believing it. Coachman, with a tear in his eye, wonders what would have happened if Bischoff got sprayed, and Eric decides that he needs to give Tajiri a proper initiation on Raw. After a few short racist utterances on Bischoff's end, he gives Tajiri a no disqualification match and ponders for a moment the perfect opponent, landing on Kane. Tajiri makes his shocked Tajiri face, and we got a match. Jim Ross forces a reference to the latest Dwayne Johnson movie at the time, Walking Tall, as Kane strides to the ring to unleash his Kane-flavored fury all over the Japanese buzzsaw. If I were to ask you to imagine how a Kane versus Tajiri match would go in 2004, you could probably imagine this one in your head perfectly. Some punchy, some kicky, a sweet rebound back elbow, big boot, green mist, all the hits. If you were expecting a flying Kane clothesline or a Tajiri tarantula, you would find yourself sorely disappointed. As you would be disappointed if you were a fan of Kane, as Tajiri is the one who wins this match by a countout after spraying Kane in the face with the green mist on the outside. The fans cheer as one fan in particular raises an Omega sign, prophesizing that this is the end of Tajiri. Kane, unhappy about being outwitted and outsprayed by Tajiri, gives the Japanese buzzsaw a chokeslam from hell after the match is over. But the big green monster is far from over, as he's ready to give Tajiri a second chokeslam when who should hit the ring but Edge! Edge spears Kane, laying him out in the middle of the ring and repeatedly pointing at his face, pointing at him all the time, just pointing at him all over. I've never seen such vicious, vigorous, and violent pointing like this ever before. He's even pointing at him as he's leaving the ring. However, as Edge is leaving the ring, Kane is lying down and not looking at him, and so these points have no effect. Edge leaves as his Attitude Era music blasts through the arena, but Kane sits up and is furious to have been outwitted a second time in one night. Either that, or he's mad that Edge got rid of his Rob Zombie theme song, We Shall Never Know. As a fan of Tajiri at the time, I was happy to see him get a win, but without a Cruiserweight Championship to fight for, I suspected that his upward trajectory was going to be a short one. I did not expect Tajiri to win the Intercontinental title, or the Women's title, or the World Heavyweight title, and he didn't. But on to the subject of this podcast. As a second impression of Edge, I was glad to see that he was a good guy willing to fight for the rights of every man. He had no reason to help Tajiri, and yet did so anyway. What he was doing in the U.S. Bank Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio, when he didn't have a match scheduled, I may never know, but I will never look a gift horse in the mouth. His spear is still cool, his fashion sense is on point, and he was picking a fight with a big guy. What was not to like about this Edge fellow? I think he's going to go far and have a long, happy career. But Kane appears to have different ideas in mind for Edge. Tune in next time as we discuss the next chapter in the story of the rise of Edge. Tune in next time for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.